Hey there YouTube, welcome to this video about Virtua Racing on Nintendo Switch and what appeared to be the impossible race. I say that because we're talking about the medium track on Grand Prix mode. Now in Grand Prix mode, as I mentioned in my review, there's a really cool mechanic where the tyres degrade as you race. Now if you're doing that on the Acropolis track or the Big Forest, there's obviously a pit stop you can make halfway through the race, which allows you to get your grip back. However, on Bay Bridge, there are no pits. So I was reading in the comments on this video by Quidos here, and someone called Officer Jenny Orange Islands asked, how do you complete Grand Prix on medium or Bay Bridge when it has no pit stop? So Quidos said, set the steering setting to arcade, that's analog steering, and use the thumbstick to control it. This smoother steering doesn't affect the tyres as much. But they also said, however, still nobody can achieve first place because the enemy is too fast. That's because the current number one holder on the leaderboard for the Grand Prix version of Bay Bridge managed to get many seconds ahead of the second place person, but they couldn't actually win the race. Now, if you remember when I did that little video of the first time I played it, I found Bay Bridge was the hardest to win. I couldn't win it on automatic, for instance. And though I've since done that, the AI does seem to be extremely fast around the Bay Bridge circuit. It's because you had to slow down so much for the last few corners on the lap, and they don't slow as much at all, so they're able to pull ahead. Well, I saw this as a challenge, of course, because if someone says it's impossible, and I'm already topping the leaderboards on Bay Bridge and Acropolis on the normal one, I thought I might be able to do this. So I had a go, and you know what? I couldn't. The AI driver that's in first place does occasionally come back. Sometimes they get balked by back markers, that sort of thing. And I almost got into a slipstream, but I couldn't get near him, and so he went on and won. So I thought I'd have another go, and well, here's what happened. After a few laps, I was getting closer and closer until finally I got into his slipstream and got past. Now, he was able then to retake the lead very briefly, but I was still close enough to get the slipstream again and get past. And then I thought I was good enough for the win, especially when I heard him spin when he crashed on the Bay Bridge itself. So I thought I was home and dry. But on the last lap, there was his nose again, and he got ahead, and we had this amazing race up the hill towards the bridge itself, when I did actually win. But although I was very happy to have won the impossible race, as it seemed, I still actually wasn't top of the leaderboard. So I knew that I had to go faster, and I didn't want to be overtaken. I wanted to, definitely put this to bed. So that's what I did. So here's the race on Bay Bridge. I've edited it down, otherwise it would be about 15 minutes long. So I've just kept it to the most important bits, and you can see the tyres going off. So just to explain what you're looking at here, right in the distance you see that purple car going past the orange one. Well, the purple one is the leader, and it's really fast. It's probably going about 325 kilometers an hour, whereas you're doing 330, so you can pull him in on the flat out bits and get into his slipstream like this, which gets you up to 339 if you're lucky, and that's enough to get past him. But then of course you get to this part of the track, and he's just so quick, especially through this corner. And even when your tyres are good, it's very difficult to keep speed up through this section, so he gets away. And this is only lap 5. So as the race goes on and your tyres go off, it gets harder and harder to stay with him at that stage. So really at the start of the race, you've got to be right on it and get past him in the first few laps. So that's what I've been doing here. I've had some 37s and a low 38. Finally, I'm in his slipstream, avoiding the other cars as we go, and I've got through. So just got to keep going, keep as much speed up as possible through this section. Don't run wide onto the grass here on the left. And then when you come through, keep that nice and tight. Try not to spin, don't go on the grass too much. Although actually going on the grass helps a little bit, because not only does it keep the corner nice and cut, nice and tight, but it also scrubs speed, which otherwise you need to be doing yourself with braking. Okay, so here we skip through to lap 17. See, I had loads of 38s point something, and that's really good. So that was enough to get me on top of the leaderboard, but I still had to stay in front of him. But at this stage, the car is understeering massively. Look, it's like pushing a shopping trolley, and it's sliding all over the place. But you can still use that slide as the snap back to get you ready for that right-hander leading up onto the bridge. and here we've gone through to the last lap, just trying to keep it on the island, avoiding the other cars. At this stage, hitting one of them would destroy your race. Basically, you can't hit anything, and just trying to keep it on the island, nice and smooth, nice and tight. Slow it down for this corner. At this stage, you have to go right down to about 200 kilometers an hour to get around that hairpin, and then just keeping it off the left. There we go, and away to finish the race. So if anyone can beat that, by all means go ahead. That's what racing games are for. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you hit like and subscribe, that would be awesome. Do leave a comment. It's always great to hear from you. Let me know if you beat it. Post a link to your video showing how you beat it. And yeah, hopefully we'll get people talking about Virtua Racing again, because this game really deserves it. If you'd like to watch my full review, you can find it up here. There's also some other gaming content on my channel, as well as music and teeth stuff and more. So take a look around. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Take care.